a great time for me. Hanging out with those guys really helped me kind of, and also just gave me a chance to have fun and have a few good laughs.
2009 was a good year.
Ladies and gentlemen, Olde Forest.
Okay, ready? Here we go. Let's do it again.
That's Jim's song from years and years ago.
Yeah, like 40.
You know.
1972. I was going to college, and I met Jim Bell there. But I had actually met him earlier at one of the Rimbach hootenannies. So, you know, he was, we started talking about playing some music together, and at some point we all just kind of merged.
I think it was sort of a collaborative thing. Cheryl and Max and Paul, I think we were just sitting around one evening and said, let's put this together. And so he said, yeah, I think Max knew Ricky at the time, Ricky knew you. Forget how Bud came into the whole picture. Maybe Cheryl knew Bud.
I hate this cold. I'm going to need a break so I can blow my nose ruefully off camera. You, me...
She honks.
Still does. Oh, quiet. I, me, Jim, Paul, Mikey, and Bud. We're the originals, right?
And Max.
No, Max wasn't original. When you told me Max was joining, my heart went into heart failure.
Why?
I adored Max from when Pokey Smokes. What was the band they were?
Pokey Smoke.
That played all the high school.
Oh, Jolly Ox.
Jolly Ox. My heart went thump 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 when Max was in the room.
Pat Luck.
Keep your secrets to yourself. It doesn't matter to anyone else. Useless.
You're having fun.
Yeah. Pittsburgh.
The man in his element.
Unit of measure here.
But
Oh, no thanks, no.
I know I can drink that much orange juice.
Yeah, just
El Jimador.
old song.
It's a fine tequila.
Oh, that is really good tequila.
It's named after Jim Ciano. El
That's right. El Jimador.
Hey, good to see you, Jim.
Good to see you guys. It's been 2 years.
2 whole years, huh?
Oh, there's
3 years.
there.
It'll be 3 years.
How did you get recruited? Or were you a founder?
That's a good question. I believe it's because I sang with Cheryl. Cheryl and I met. So maybe I should tell this. She sang in a hootenanny. She sang a cappella, sang "Summertime," and I was backstage, and I happened to have an arrangement to "Summertime," and it happened to be in the same key. And night after night, she did it in the same key. And I was so impressed. So pretty soon we hooked my arrangement and her vocals together. So when Jim and Cheryl got Olde Forest going, I was right there. Yes.
Okay. When did you first come across Olde Forest?
I'm thinking it was probably around 73. We played a gig at the Oddfellows Hall in Cupertino with Jolly Ox and Shorty's Truck. And I knew Paul and Ricky before because we were high school mates. But that was when we kind of got to see the talents of Olde Forest in full bloom. That was a great time. I think that was December of '73.
Okay.
I was really impressed with Olde Forest because you guys were so big. You know, back then bands that had lots of members were very infrequent, and so I was a little apprehensive when I first went to hear you guys. I go, oh, there's too many people on the stage, it's just not going to work. But I was really impressed. Your vocals were tight, the originals were just amazing.
I have known Jim Bell since we, I guess, went to junior high together. So I guess really it's kind of watching Jim develop as a musician and his music, and I guess the first time. Oh gosh, it must have been, I'm trying to think. It's probably just when they got together for a practice, and I think it was when Jim and Cheryl were together, and I think that's kind of when I first met them. But I've known Jim for many years.
So at the end of when we graduated from high school, my year, Paul or Ricky or somebody, I knew Ricky and Paul knew Ricky and somebody knew Jim, and
Jim was putting this band together with the singers, you know, it's going to be like, you know, 4-part harmony and blah, blah, blah. So it turned out Fiasco members became the Olde Forest rhythm section. Paul, myself, Mike McMahon, and that's how I joined it.
Okay.
I went to Rimbach High School, and that's where I basically met Paul Skelton. And at the time I met him, he was playing with different people. We actually did a couple of things together at high school, playing music. And then later on that summer, I met. He was playing with another band called Fiasco, which was Bob Grabeau and Bud Rink and Mike McMahon and Dave Malby.
I think they were absolutely in their prime. The blend of the voices, the musicianship was just superb. I truly think they were a band ahead of their time as far as musicianship.
People ask me, well, what kind of music is it? And I say, well, you know, folk rock doesn't quite cut it. I try to say, well, it's kind of like Mamas and Papas, but that's not right either. We had a rock and rhythm section. Paul Skelton would burn it up. Ricky would be crazy. Bryan was classically trained. So what do you call a group of musicians like that? 4-part harmony on top of that. It's like,
I think I was a really young guy, and they were much older, as I remember. So they were my idols growing up. I heard them play, and it's like the vocals and the songwriting ability. Was one of the things that made me want to play.
If they would have gotten some good backing, you know, from somebody in the music industry, something like that, I think they could have gone somewhere. You know, the like I said, the quality of the people is what made the band. You know, everybody just sort of melded. You know, harmonies were superb.
Yeah. So where was the first Olde Forest gig?
Oh, come
That's what I do. You have to ask Jim.
Okay, Cheryl, ask me. As far as I can remember, our first gig was the Rimbach Hootenanny. Rimbach Hootenanny was probably the best venue that we ever played, and was, at least for me, the most fun, because it was a place where we were really allowed to be creative and play our original music, and basically we were probably more relaxed there and better at what we did than any other place that we ever played. It's sort of like home, you know, like a lot of clubs, I mean, a lot of bands get their favorite club where they become the home band for that club. Cornell Hurd's got something like that in Texas, I've heard. That was sort of what Rimbach Hootenanny was for us there. It was a good place for us to feel relaxed and do just about anything that we wanted to do. And the audience would love it. So it was a lot of fun.
I liked them. I had fun with them. Well, except for the first one.
We practiced in the bathroom for the acoustics were just incredible. I love that.
Oh, bathrooms are great. Oh, I can sound like a whole choir by myself in the bathroom.
And every time the curtains would open to reveal Olde Forest, what you could hear was people screaming "Summertime." She was that well known for the song.
A great springboard, all kinds of great music happening. I think it was such a wonderful thing that
Rimbach Hootenannies, they were, I think, a real special time, and at least in my musical career. There was so much music, great music, different styles. So I really enjoyed playing in them, watching the other performers, and I think it was a great period of time.
So the Rimbach Hootenannies were a seminal event, you know, in the high school days, because we all were budding musicians, really had no outlet for our creativity. So if high school did anything, it provided us with that opportunity to play, you know, in front of people and get some exposure, you know, standing in front of an audience and playing. I mean, really, those days they formed the core group of everyone, you and everyone that we know from the day. So that was really the foundation, and I can only hope they still do those types of things at high schools. It's a pretty cool event.
The hootenanny before that, the year before that, which must have been in the 71, 72 hootenanny, 71. That guy back there, Pat Weber, did his Hendrix thing, his Hendrix alma mater, and that just blew me away. And I said, wow, I want to do something like that. I want to play music.
The first time I saw Pat perform at the Limerick Hootenanny, he did an awesome impersonation of Jimi Hendrix. And he played the Star Spangled Banner like Hendrix did at Woodstock. And I also knew he was a, you know, even though he did that, I also knew that he was a serious musician with some serious chops.
What did you think of those Limerick Hootenannies?
I love the Hootenannies. I think I started going to the Hootenannies in 69, and then in 70. No, let's see, because I was in an a cappella group called Whitey and the Soul Review, and we sang Backfield in Motion. And the following year, I did a Hendrix tribute. I did the alma mater of Limerick High School, Hendrix's treatment of Star Spangled Banner. And the Hootenanny was just a wonderful showcase, and the people that came out of that are still in touch, musically in touch, and just personally in touch with one another. It's beautiful. I love the Hootenanny and the memory of that.
The Limerick Hootenanny in 1970 was one of the first live things I ever did. So it you know, it was always a lot of fun, and it was always a way to kind of showcase new songs or new groups. It was a real event as far as the students at Limerick were concerned. And we always had a really good turnout, really good lineup of performers, which included a lot of students and faculty from Limerick. My take on the Limerick Hootenannies was it was a great springboard for a lot of great music and musicians.
And the amazing thing is how much talent there was there. As you get older, you realize how good those people were and still are.
I loved him. Was involved from the very first on the sound and light side, and then one year we got the idea of doing the big band just for the fun of it. So yeah, we had a lot of fun with those years.
Yeah, and the Hootenannies were, I think, their best performances ever. Yeah, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Too many men have died. Too many people have died.
Mike was the mini hippie back in Limerick. Him and we were in juniors in high school. We were like Mutt and Jeff. He was 5'3", I was 6'3". So people called him the mini hippie because we all had long hair back then. And so he lived around the corner from where I lived.
Mikey.
Yeah, Mikey.
Oh,
God, he went so long ago.
Right after he'd finally gotten happy.
Yeah,
You know what I remembered? You don't come near his drums. You don't mess with his drums. You don't touch him.
That's right.
Somebody did at a performance, and he got up. Little tiny itty bitty skinny winny little Mike. He came over there and went and took his drumsticks away and really got upset.
Yeah, he didn't like people messing with his
Not
stuff.
at all.
I'm just recording some of this.
One of the cuckoo trips that we took with Olde Forest, Jim, we just started driving south and we slept on the beach down near, I think it was I don't know, down near Santa Barbara. This Olde Forest did stuff together as a group of people. In addition to playing as a band, we were just inseparable as companions. That was probably my favorite time, was just being together with those people at that time.
So you guys used to take a lot of cuckoo trips, what Ricky called cuckoo trips, right?
Uh-huh.
The whole band would just get up and go.
And that's when I had a 3/4. I had the 1965 3/4 ton International pickup
with a granny gear.
With a granny gear, and Jim and I, we lost one of the engine mounts, so we put this massive chain. You couldn't get an engine mount for it anymore. So Jim and I put a massive chain. Jim put this massive chain to hold it on.
Are you done, sir?
With a lock on it. And that's what held that engine on, and we went everywhere in that truck.
Without packing a toothbrush, not even thinking about it.
Oh yeah, we never thought about that. We were lucky we brought clothes.
When we played together and hung out together, Olde Forest was kind of like my extended family for me. You know, hanging out with them, I felt like I was visiting family. I think that helped add to the chemistry which created the music, the collective sound of Olde Forest. We've since all gone in different directions, but there's that tie-in, you know, with the original group. We have the memories and our camaraderie and the bonding that we shared from the experience.
If you were to say something about Paul, how has Paul affected you?
People wanted to be with Paul. Paul would deny it to this day, but he was kind of like, sort of like this nexus of, you know, people would sort of like be around him and want to. I think Paul kind of realized that, and he sort of like took umbrage that people thought of him as sort of a guru. He hated that, but it's true. People just thought Paul was, in addition to being such a fantastic musician, they just wanted, you know, to be around Paul, because when Paul was around, things happened. You know, people set off on cuckoo trips. People got together and played great music. But I think my favorite, at least personal for me, was when I was thinking about moving to New York City after I was married. Paul was already living there with Ann.
That was you again.
And I didn't know if I would, you know, being a suburban San Jose boy, could hack it in New York City. So I went out by myself and just stayed and lived on Paul and Ann's apartment. They let me sleep there, and you know, the place is tiny, little studio apartment, but they opened it up and I stayed there for a week or two. You know, I slept on the floor and just learned what living in New York would be about. And I thought, yeah, I could do this. And I'm thankful to Paul and Ann to allow me to do that, because, you know, that was a turning point in my life, moving to New York.
Paul Skelton was an amazing human being. He was brilliant, he was an excellent guitar player, great guy to get along with most of the time. Paul could be moody though, temperamental, but I think that only really helped the band when he was with the band, because he would bring things up and point things out to us that sometimes I'd let slide over. Just because I didn't want to create waves and I wanted to get through a practice. But Paul was sort of like the truth sayer. You know, he had that, what I would call, ruthless honesty about him, which over time I really, really came to love. I mean, it really helped us a lot. He was a gas to be at Sambo's with at 3 in the morning. You know, wired on coffee, you know, just nothing but creative ideas, just, you know, exploding out of our brains together. That I just loved about him. Really sad that he's not in the world, because I think he was a great benefit to this planet and to our humanity. Just a fabulous human being.
Paul was an interesting person. You know, we kind of had the same sense of humor, which was really kind of off the wall. You know, well, I had a lot of fun hanging out with him, and you know, we shared a couple of apartments together, destroyed a couple of apartments. A great guitar player, a great person, Actually, not a bad cartoonist either. I still have some of his drawings that I pull out, and he just cracks me up. He was a great person.
That's what Ricky used to do. Him and Paul would do that ding dong, same old Mitch. And Paul would run into cars and then fall down.
I thought you were Dale.
I thought you were Dale.
So many lines.
Ricky and Paul would do that, but Paul would always run into cars.
Where'd the ding dong come from?
I didn't know that was Ricky's thing. Ding dong, same moment. Ricky would do that. And then he'd walk around and then Paul would do his.
He was a funny man. The guy could crack me up. I posted some stuff on Facebook. He absolutely cracked me up at all times. A great sense of humor.
So, if you were to say something to Paul, what would you say to him right now?
We miss you.
Say hi, baby.
I hope he's doing okay.
Oh, he'll be fine.
I know. I think about him a lot.
Actually, I gotta call Annie. I haven't talked to her, and I need to.
I basically said, right after he passed away, I wrote a little eulogy for him. We had a great, he was really a close friend of mine. He always stuck by me during some rough times, like when my mom died in 1975. He was right there, just right there, you know, just, he didn't say anything, he just kind of was a silent support system.
Paul was constantly amazing. I didn't know him much before we got into Olde Forest, but I remember being on stage and just enjoying solo after solo after solo. He had so much creativity, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, sorely missed.
At the Wardway stuff, I didn't realize that he had already been living in the house. I don't see how anyone could have lived in that house beforehand. So that was when I met Paul, and the infamous garden party that summer when we burned out a couple of lawnmowers from rental companies. I mean, because the weeds were this high. And so that was a lot of fun. Sweat like dogs, clean up lots of stuff, and sit around and play music and just enjoy in the evening.
Just like Ken Hansen, it's
So I asked her
it's
once, I said, what's the lowest
that's
score
such
you
a
ever got?
sad thing. You know, you don't see somebody for a little while, and you just figure that one day they're going to walk up and knock on your door, and you'll see them again. I don't think I ever realized that it's not going to happen with some people.
You know, Marilyn didn't know what it
I love Paul. There was a story, Rick and Paul and I played for our senior night in high school, and we traded off on, I played bass on one song, he played bass on another song, but when I played bass, I sang Good Golly Miss Molly, and Paul just played a solo on that. It was just incredible. I was a fan forever. You know, he was so talented. And sorely missed.
Miss Paul a lot. I think his spirit is with us and continues to be with us, and I'm sure he's with us now. But he was just a great musician, great person, and I used to have an old Les Paul guitar, and Paul played it for a while, and that guitar really should have been Paul's guitar all along, because he really made that thing sound great. I could never play that well.
My last conversation with him took place while I was driving down the road. I was in the process of going through a divorce, which he was a champ with me. The guy was talking to me, even in that condition, he was talking to me 3 times a day and helping me out and helping me to understand what was going on. And the last words I said to him, last conversation, is I said, I want you to know that my sons are your sons. I got 2 boys who were guitar players, and they idolized him. So it was pretty sad all the way around. I thank God for putting him in my life every day. Every day I thank God, and every day I miss him. He will live on in my heart, in my mind, and through my children until we're all gone.
was tough. George had kept in touch with Paul on and off over the years, more off than on. Paul had a lot of other stuff going on that in his life, you know, when he was back in New York. But when Paul became ill, George and Paul really had quite a bit more to talk about, dealing with a chronic illness, possibly fatal, which unfortunately was Paul's case, and it was really tough, because it was definitely the sort of the end of an era, you know. We definitely went out to see the Donuts and got Cornell heard Mondo Hot Pants Orchestra and all that stuff before, but it was Paul, the guy who would do anything for you that he possibly could. He wasn't very talkative all the time, he wasn't very demonstrative, but he would, if you needed something, he'd do it for you.
From the corners of it all, though I may not feel your sorrow, I am always in your touch.
So, what are your final thoughts of Olde Forest after 40 years?
It was a wondrous time. Absolutely incredible time.
Hey, we had fun.
It was just enchanting.
I'm just blessed to be able to sit in and attempt to fill Paul's chair, which is impossible. I wish Rick could be here. And I think these songs just stand the test of time. They're beautiful songs. So I'm really fortunate to be playing them.
I'm really sorry I missed the reunion of Olde Forest last year, 2011. All in all, it was a really great project, and you know, I'm still in touch with all the people, and there's a lot of love there. Like I said, it's my extended family.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Olde Forest because it's I think the time is right. I think for Jim to be getting his music out there again, and I just never felt like he had the opportunity to really get that music out there like it should have been. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
But it was good that we got back together.
Well, already I'm happy to be able to play with my idols. Okay, maybe they were all much older or much younger than me.
Well, it ought to be quite an event.
Well, I'm glad we're doing it again. After 40 years, the 40th anniversary, 1971, 2011.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of good years.
They were just fun, but we were all kids growing up learning at the same time.
And look what happened to us after all that.
You know what?
You finally grew up.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. No, you didn't. Don't make assumptions.
It's so good to see some of those people that I literally have not seen in 35, 40 years.
All right, good deal.
And it's good to have.
Well, I hope there's a 41st anniversary. Oh man, I can't wait. This is too fun. It's been fun. Heck, I could quit now and be happy just getting together and recreating the songs is the good part for me. Tomorrow's just going to be icing.
Very impressive set, and I'm very happy that they were able to show up that day.
I only wish that we had the technology to create our albums then that we do now, because we would be able to pull some great stuff off with everybody together at the same time.
Too many men have died. Too many people have died.
And I think it would be wonderful if, after all of these years, they were able to get together and cut a record.
I'll get it.
Using it.
Hello, my good friends.
Hello, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Good to see you, pal.
Time for a cuckoo trip.
How long have you been?
This is Doug. Hey, Doug, this is my friend.
Good to meet you, Brian.
Good to meet you.
My dad.
Welcome to our home.
All right.
Come on in.
Hi, guys.
This is Robert. This is Beverly, my better half.
Hey, Beverly. Robert.
This is Jim, Cheryl, Max, and Doug.
Yay. Beverly. How do you do?
Robert. Good to meet you. Likewise. What's your name again? Max. Max, come on in.
Keep your secrets to yourself. It doesn't matter to anyone else. Useless words thrown against the wall.
That's the third verse.
Returning to their shells.
We're being beckoned.
Now it's all coming back.
Yeah. So yeah, you get. We'll just experiment with you know, how close and all that stuff.
Too many men have died. Too many people have loved. Too many women crying out loud.
Yeah. Let's bring him in and have him listen.
I'm not as young as I once was. Nice.
You can bet if my head she wants, and not my heart only. If you see me smiling and you wonder why, you can bet it's a private queen where an eye's on. Everything's alright. Everything's alright. Everything's alright. Everything's alright.
Sweet. That'll work. Well, we gotta kind of minimize those because that's just too much. Nice, dude.
Cheryl, you haven't added to that I've ever heard. That's nice.
Hush, pretty baby, don't you
Really looking forward to playing Longstock. It's really incredible to have this group of people back together again. Some of the stuff in the practices have gone really well, much better than I thought they were going for. Some of them have been a little bit rough, but we'll see how it all pans out tomorrow. Overall, it's just an amazing group of people to have back together again. And something that I never thought would happen in my lifetime. Kudos for Bryan. Bryan really helped put this together. Matter of fact, that was Bryan's idea. And I just have to say huge thanks to him. Love it that Bud's coming back from New York. Wished Ricky could have made it out from Hawaii, but just things were too tough for him. Glad that Max and the core of the band, Cheryl and Sherry, are going to be there. Bryan. Love it that Rob's playing some drums for us, and great that Pat Weber is kind of filling on some guitar stuff for us. Just really excited and looking forward to playing some of the old tunes, which I think are going to sound really good, and some of the new stuff, which I think is going to sound really good.
Last time tuned in 1973.
Land where people fly, faded on my way. Playground burning, Paris wheel, turn them into clay. Rising high above their heads, I will fly away, leading them in their own tears, leading them to pray. Turn the light within my eyes, blackening it from grace. Velvet curtains in my mind, they are there to stay. Wandering here and wandering there, they have gone to play. See the mountain that's on fire, turns my night to day. Take my castle, rape my wife, take my children all. My life's here and my life's there, nowhere it can fall. Rising high above their heads, I will fly away. fun. Rescue me, I want you in my arms. Rescue me, I need you tender times when I'm lonely and I'm blue. I need you and your love too. Come on and rescue me. Come on, baby, and rescue me. Come on, baby, and rescue me. 'Cause I need you by my side. Can't you see that I'm lonely? Rescue me. Come on and take my heart, my love, and rescue everybody. I need you by my side. Can't you see that I'm lonely? Rescue me. Come on and take my heart. Come on, baby, and rescue me. 'Cause I need you by my side. Can't you see that I'm lonely? Rescue me, I want you in my arms. Rescue me, I need you tender times 'cause I'm lonely and I'm blue. I need you and your love too. Come on and rescue me. Come on, baby, and rescue me. Come on, baby, and rescue me. 'Cause I need you by my side. Can't you see that I'm lonely? Rescue me. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Bring me, baby. Help me, baby. Come me, baby. You, baby. Baby, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Can't you see that I'm lonely?
That was with one rehearsal last night.
It's almost like Sonny and Cher. You know, I get a flashback.
Hey, it's hard to come from Caillou to something.
Let's get together and do it again. Let's get together, my friends. Get together and sing our songs. Let's get together right where we belong. Let's get together and do it again. Let's get together, my friends. Get together and sing our songs. Let's get together right where we belong. Let's get together and do it again. Let's get together, my friends. Get together and sing our songs. Let's get together right where we belong. Let's get together and do it again. Let's get together right where we belong.
So tell that reaper man. Olde Forest 2010.
Cool.
So that's pretty much it, I guess.
Right. Here we go.
Sorry, bud.
Let's get together and do it again.
We'll do it again.
Turn my friend. I don't mean to offend. So many stories to be told, a lifetime to defend.
Nice job.
Let's get together and do it again.